everybody, welcome to my review of Season 3, Episode 3 of Little Women Atlanta. If you haven't seen this episode yet, this video will act like a spoiler, so you might want to watch this video later. The name of this episode is Masquerade Ballers. The episode begins with Ms.Juicy, Tanya, and Minnie meeting up for lunch to discuss what happened at Minnie's birthday brunch. Minnie is displeased to see Tanya because Tanya was on Sam's side at the brunch. Juicy said that she brought Tanya so she could talk some sense into Minnie for attacking Sam at the brunch. Minnie says that she had a good time and enjoyed having all the ladies at her table. And she said, and she asked, why would someone show up to her birthday if they don't trust her? Tanya says Sam isn't going to back down for anybody, and she understands that Minnie isn't either. And if Minnie didn't want any drama at her party, she should have just pulled Sam aside to talk. Minnie mentions how Sam brought up her mugshot and called her fat, etc. Tanya thinks what Sam says was in the heat of the moment, because Minnie and Sam were both saying some messed up things to each other. Tanya says she's beginning to see how stubborn Minnie is, because she doesn't want to admit when she's wrong. The idea of Minnie bringing up the drama didn't make sense, considering how Minnie didn't want any drama at the party, and she should have known. Minnie says that she's still mad, and when she has an issue with someone, she has to address it. And she and Sam will run into each other eventually. The twins take Aubrey to the doctor regarding her feeding tube. Andrea tells Amanda that Chris has court back in Texas, and she doesn't know when he'll be back. Amanda asks Andrea if Chris helps out with Aubrey, and Andrea does not say anything. Amanda says that the reason why Andrea is the way she is now is because of Chris, and she can't think right because of him, and all she does is think of him. Andrea says that she doesn't know why she puts up with Chris's mess. Amanda asks Andrea why she puts up with his mess when she's tired of it. Amanda says Chris is always getting into trouble instead of focusing on his kids. Andrea says Chris had to be in court for getting too many tickets, and he can't miss his hearings or he will face jail time. Wow. He really needs to step it up. You got 2 kids, getting into trouble, having to go to court, having to be away from your children, leaving your girlfriend with the baby who has a feeding tube, which makes things harder for her. So then they all go into the exam room. The doctor comes in, and Andrea asks the doctor if they'll be able to take Aubrey's feeding tube out, because she's worried that Aubrey might get an infection from the feeding tube. The doctor says that it will take a few weeks or months to Aubrey to outgrow her feeding tube. Andrea says that it's disappointing that Aubrey can't get her feeding tube out. That makes it harder for her to get taken care of. And without Chris around, it's harder. Then the doctor gives Aubrey some vaccines. Next, Sam and Tanya go to the park with Tanya's kids. Tanya tells Sam that her kids will be going to stay with their father for a month. She says that she and her ex have had a rocky time when it comes to sharing the kids. And when she left for Atlanta, he didn't want to give them up, but she took them with her anyway. And it's rough because she does want her ex to be in her kids' lives. Tanya says when her ex gets to Atlanta, she wants to talk to him and get things figured out before he leaves. And she wants to get a letter notarized stating what their agreement is. Sam says that she thinks that the idea of Tanya keeping things friendly between her and her ex is a bad idea. Sam says Tanya should get a letter notarized, and she agrees that Tanya's kids need a father in their lives. And while seeing their father, they'll be around other mother figures like their aunt and grandmother. Sam asks Tanya what she'll do if her ex doesn't want to give her kids back. Tanya says he's not going to have that chance, and she's not going to let anybody try to take her kids from her. In the next scene, Juicy and Money go to a meeting for the Atlanta Social Club, since Money wants to get involved with local charities. They meet the co-founders of the ASC, and they sit down and talk to them. The co-founders explain to Juicy and Money what the Atlanta Social Club is all about, and they also mention how their club will benefit their city, and that's why they're doing more charity work. Money asks if there are any little people in the club, and one of the co-founders says she doesn't think so. Money asks if they went somewhere with the group of ladies, would they be looked at differently? A co-founder says that the ASC is very inclusive. Even though the co-founder told Money that they're inclusive, Money is still worried. Then, one of the co-founders invites Money and Juicy to a masquerade ball for charity. In the next scene, Minnie meets up with her boyfriend Gary at a restaurant. She says that they met at a speed dating event. Minnie tells Gary what happened between her and Sam at the brunch. Gary voices his opinion on the situation and asks if what Minnie did is relevant, and that everybody has done something wrong, and that even he has a mugshot, but that doesn't define who he is as a person. Minnie mentions some of the mean things that Sam said to her while they were going off on each other, and Minnie says that Gary warms her heart, and it's good to have a man who knows how to make her feel sexy, and plus, she can be herself around him. Gary tells Minnie that she's a beautiful woman, and when someone does something to make someone angry, they're angry with themselves, and Sam can kiss Minnie's behind, and Minnie should focus on who supports her. Minnie says she sees herself having a future with Gary because he's well-spoken and a family man. Then, Minnie asks Gary about his relationship with his son. Gary says that he has a good, close relationship with his son. Then Minnie says that her and her mom are close. And speaking of that, she thinks that Gary should meet her mother. And she warns him that her mother is overprotective of her and doesn't bite her tongue. So, Minnie finally got her a man who cares about her. So, it's good that Minnie found herself a good man. He seems like a nice guy. But I really hope he likes her for her, and isn't trying to use her just to be on TV. I think he does like her. I think he does. Seems nicer than that Pastor Troy. Forget him. Pastor Troy probably used her for fame to get his face out there and his music out there. Let's move on. In the next scene, Sam and Money go to a marketplace. Money asks Sam what's going on with the mugshot drama. Sam says she wasn't going to make a big deal out of it, but Minnie tried her. Sam tells Money that Tanya's kids are leaving to be with their father, and she's skeptical about it. Sam says neither Tanya or her ex, Devon, have custody of their kids because they don't want the courts involved. Money says they should at least get something in writing regarding the custody. Money says she knows how it feels to be in a custody battle, and she doesn't want to see Tanya in that situation. Sam says she shouldn't let her ex have the kids, considering what happened before. Money says that she thinks she should talk to Tanya herself, since Sam already tried to do that. In the next scene, Minnie and the twins meet up at the gym. Andrea tells Amanda and Minnie that Chris still isn't back home from court, and she doesn't want him to come back at that moment because she needs space. She says while Chris has been gone, she's been doing a lot of thinking, and she doesn't want him to come back because they might start fighting again. Amanda says that it's good that Andrea is having some time for herself. Andrea says she doesn't know when she wants Chris to come back. Amanda says that's music to her ears, and her sister deserves better. Minnie says things happen for a reason, and maybe being away from Chris is best for her. Andrea says she thinks that this is the first time Chris noticed that for once, she isn't begging for him to come back. Minnie points out how Chris will know that if he says some certain words to Andrea, she'll open the door for him. Andrea says she doesn't know what to do. He doesn't treat her right, but he's the father of her children. She doesn't want to start over because she has love for him, but on the other hand, she doesn't want to put up with his crap. Andrea is finally opening her eyes. Man, I think she should break up with him. He isn't treating her right. He's caused her stress and sadness in the past. So, it's about time she decides to let that man go. Good. Good for her. In the next scene, Money goes over to Tanya's house to chat with her. Tanya tells Money that Devon, the baby daddy, picked her kids up early. Money asks Tanya if she's okay with that. Tanya says no. Money asks Tanya if she and her ex tried to make some sort of agreement. Tanya says they did, but her ex wasn't having it. Tanya says that she gave her ex the paper, and he just pushed the paper away, grabbed the bags, and says that he's leaving. Money tells Tanya that she can't just make her ex feel like he can get away with stuff. Tanya says she and her ex should be able to make an agreement, and he's not going to get away with keeping their kids forever. Money says that it's better to have an agreement come from Tanya instead of the state. She tells Tanya that she hopes that everything goes right between her and her ex. Then Money leaves Tanya's house. In the commentary, Tanya says that the only way that Money could have learned about the custody business is if Sam told her. Then Tanya calls Sam into the room to talk. She tells Sam that Money came by talking about the kids, and she said that she never told Money anything about them. Tanya says that she felt like she needed to tell someone else about the situation, and maybe Tanya would listen to them, because Tanya wasn't really listening to what Sam had to say. Tanya says that even though Sam might not understand, deep down she trusts her ex. Tanya tells Sam that she didn't want to tell everyone what she was going through, and she wants to be able to talk to Sam about things. Tanya says it's hard because the next month is going to be the longest she's been away from her kids. Then she begins to get a little emotional. Sam tells Tanya that she'll be there for her, and she's sorry, and she apologizes for doing that for her. In the next scene, Amanda, Money, and Juicy shop for masks for the Masquerade party. They try on some masks, and then Ms.Juicy tells Money that she won't be able to make it to the party. Juicy tells Money and Amanda that they're going to get along and have a good time and meet people, and they'll be the queens that they are at the party without her. Money says that the main reason why she's disappointed that Juicy couldn't make it to the party is because those types of parties can be intimidating, and Juicy always makes her feel at ease. Money says that they're going to let all the average-sized people at the party know that the ladies are taking over. Minnie and her mother Tammy go to a restaurant so that Gary can meet Tammy. Tammy tells Gary to tell her about himself. Gary seems a little nervous. He says that he's a simple man who lives life day to day. And then Tammy asks him if he's been married before. Gary says that yes, he was married for 1.5 years. Then Tammy asks if he's dated a little person before. Gary says that he and Minnie are currently dating. Then Tammy tells Gary not to hurt Minnie. Gary tells Tammy that he has a personality and he wants to live and enjoy life. He mentions how he likes to put his feet up and watch The Young and the Restless. And then Tammy reveals that she is a big fan of The Young and the Restless herself. And that basically just broke the ice between Gary and Tammy. Tammy tells Gary that he seems nice and he gives her approval. Thus far. In the next scene, Minnie meets up with the twins to get ready for the masquerade ball. Then Amanda and Minnie put on their dresses. Then Andrea says she doesn't know what shoes to wear with her dress. Then Amanda says Andrea is just making up excuses because she's thinking about Chris, and she needs to get out, have fun, and not worry if Chris is coming back. Amanda tells Minnie that it's nice that they get to go out, considering how Andrea has been stressing. Then Andrea comes out wearing her dress and with a pair of shoes that goes well with her dress. And then the whole group, except for Juicy, makes it to the party. Money tells the ladies that they might get stared at by other people. So they get inside and people start taking pictures of them and staring. Where are the manners of these people? That makes me mad. Even though I'm not a little person, that makes me mad. I wouldn't like it if someone was taking pictures of me while I'm trying to mind my own business, go shopping or something. That's just disrespectful. And I wonder if those average-sized people would like it if people just came up to them and started taking pictures. I don't think so. Then, the girls are introduced to the co-founders of the Atlanta Social Club. Then one of them bends down and tells one of the ladies that they're so cute. Really? Before I move on, I want to say something. I just want to give you guys some advice. Whenever you talk to a little person, don't bend down when you try to talk to them. Don't tell them they're cute. Don't take pictures of them when you see them out in public, because they want to be talked to and treated the same as average-sized people. They're just like average-sized people, and they can live long, prosperous lives like other people do. None of the ladies are having a good time, and Sam and Minnie haven't said a word to each other. Money says that Sam and Minnie could pop off at any moment. And then Sam pulls Minnie aside to talk to her. Sam tells Minnie that people go through things, and Minnie said some stuff that she probably shouldn't have said, and she's the same way. And she asks herself, doesn't everybody have a past? And Sam says she brought Minnie outside to apologize for her birthday, and she didn't mean to say the things that she said. And for her to call her out for being a thicker girl wasn't right, because she isn't skinny herself, and she wants to apologize. Minnie accepts Sam's apology and tells Sam that she apologizes for trying to get back at her. And then the ladies re-enter the party, and the average sized people are being nicer, and they all dance and have a good time. In the final scene of the episode, Tanya talks to Sam and she tells her that she misses her kids. Tanya goes on FaceTime with her son Jaden. She tells her son that she misses him. Then Tanya says that her children are her world, and when they're away, it truly feels like a piece of her is missing. When she tells her son that she has to hang up, he yells, "No, no!" Tanya says that it breaks her heart when Jaden doesn't want to hang up, and it's like he feels like he'll never see her again. Then, after Tanya hangs up, she starts crying. Then Sam comes into the room and sees Tanya crying, and she tries to comfort her. She tells Tanya that she'll see her kids in no time. Tanya says she misses her kids and it's devastating, and she hopes that she did the right thing. And that's the end of the episode. That's so sad. Before I wrap this video up, I just want to say some things. This episode changed my perspective on Sam again, even though she went off on Minnie. She apologized, which was good. Notice she's still a nice person inside, but things can set her off. I like Sam as a cast member on this show. So I hope you all found that episode review helpful and entertaining, maybe. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Follow me on Twitter at ILUMoreThanThis. Check out my previous Little Women Atlanta review videos if you want to catch up. Subscribe to my channel. If you have subscribed, turn on my notifications. Feel free to watch my other videos on my channel too. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!